I always got to play the song a little longer because I like it.
Yes, I like it too. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Facebook.
Yes, yes.
Hi, my YouTube family, my Facebook family.
Yes.
You are back again with the SIT Podcast crew.
That's right.
I am your girl,
That's right.
your host, Sabrina. I have our guest co-host, Terry. And we have another co-host, Natasha McCartney. They're all going to say hi to you in just one moment. But I just want to say, as I always do, I miss you. Welcome back. I'm glad to have you back. There is no show without you.
Yes, that's right.
So today, make sure as we go through the session that you guys chat with us on YouTube and on Facebook. And just remember, if I'm not shouting you out, it's not on purpose. It's because I can't see you. So send us a message so I can say hi. We can say hi as a family.
That's right.
Terry,
Yes.
how's your weekend?
It was good. It was good. You know, I got a chance to visit some friends and read some books,
Yeah.
write some books.
Yeah. Read some books. Your favorite thing to do, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Listen to some music.
Did you go on any dates?
I'm not dating. I'm on hiatus right now.
Oh, a hiatus.
Yes, hiatus. Yes.
Oh, we can talk about that a little later. That sounds okay.
I'm taking a break.
Tosh, how are you? Welcome back to the SIT Podcast. Talk to us. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was good. It was good. I got to see some friends as well. I went to a baby shower and I had to cook to help support my friend. Her son is having a baby. And so it was good. It was nice to get out and enjoy the weather.
I have to say, you never cooked for me.
I know. I
why
don't
you
cook
put
for the
that out
family
there.
gathering.
Now I know. You going to bring me a dish. Hey, Chris. Hey, Sheila. Welcome, family. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome back to the SIT Podcast.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. Last week, we really delved in. We talked about boundaries. We're going to keep on boundaries. Actually, today is going to end our boundary conversation, but it's a good one, right?
That's right.
Because it's going to
Definitely
bridge
is,
us
yeah.
into dating. We're going to talk about boundaries when dating.
Wow.
Because the month of September, I told you all, is fall, right?
Yes.
It is also cuffing season.
Cuffing.
So for all of this, okay, for all of you, who don't know what cuffing season is, I'm gonna need you to have that definition because when we come back in September, we are gonna ask, what does cuffing season mean to you? What does it mean? Period. Give us the definition.
That's good.
And so before we jump into today's topics, right? I want to read a letter, Tasha, that we received again from one of our listeners. So again, if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, please feel free to email us at sitpodcast1@gmail.com. And we will, we have quite a bit of questions that we get asked. And so we just try to pick the one that, we'll be able to help with the most.
Of course.
We'll try to get to all of them, but this is the one we're going to read this week. It's the one we picked this week. Dear SIT Podcast, I recently met someone new, and they've asked me out on a first date. I'm both excited and nervous because I promised myself to approach dating with stronger boundaries this time.
I wish you
My
got that.
question is, what boundaries should I set from the beginning? For example, is it okay to say no if I don't feel comfortable with their suggested plans? How do I make sure I don't fall into old patterns of people pleasing because I want them to like me? Sincerely, listener trying to do better.
Okay.
Interesting.
Nice.
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you for being brave enough to ask the question. Because I always say, if you have the question, I promise you, somebody else has this very same question.
right,
So it's
that's right.
going to not just help you, but it's going to help somebody else. So Terry, tell me, what do you think?
Well, I think, again, I like the fact that she realizes that there are boundaries that should be set right from the beginning. And also the fact that she is a little apprehensive about where they may go on the first date. And really, I think it's important before the first date that you have some idea where you're going, and if that's acceptable to you. Because if it's not, then you should make that known. And I think she's ready to do that and stop that people pleasing. Because sometimes that really works against you in terms of setting boundaries.
Right, right, right. Tasha, what's your take on it? And then I'll close it out with mine. What's your take on it, Tasha?
Yes, I totally agree with Terry, right? Because starting a relationship, when you're in relationship with others, it should be reciprocal. And while there generally are a lot of requests of reciprocity in relationships, generally if so whoever asks the person out on a date, I guess they get to plan the first date. And I do hear this a lot in sessions with some of my clients as well, that sometimes the first date could be a little bit too long or over
Exactly.
exaggerated,
Exactly.
or for women, and this is just to be honest, women, things that women have to think about that sometimes men don't take in consideration, because you don't have to think about it, is safety. And so a
Yeah.
lot of times women feel comfortable more on first dates if it's in their neighborhood or closer to their
That's right.
home or
Right.
closer to an area where they work at. So I think absolutely it is very important for her to be able to say, like, hey, thank you for planning a date, I really am looking forward, I'm giving you an example of how to set the boundary with kindness, I'm really looking forward to meeting you, I'm excited for us to begin to get to know each other, but I would really like to go on a date maybe closer to home,
Okay.
or let's start at a coffee shop. Or, when you set the boundary, give a suggestion. So you start with kindness and you lead with clarity, but then give the suggestion. And then if you think, let's just say maybe it's candlelight dinner at a restaurant or something, because the person is showing romance, you could say, I really appreciate your romance, but we're just getting to know each other, maybe that's nice for a fourth or fifth date.
Oh, wow.
I could look
Right.
forward to that on our fourth or fifth
Fifth.
date.
Right.
Lead with abundance, so
Right.
you can set boundaries by being kind. You don't always, want to come out with a firm no, because you want to leave the door open so that y'all can continue to communicate and have conversations.
Right.
And that starts the process of you not people pleasing,
Right.
because someone who wants to get to know you and like you will then want to be reciprocal with you in that
That's right.
process.
That's
That's
right,
right. Yeah.
right. And
Right.
you guys made a lot of pivotal points. But for me, when you set boundaries at the beginning stages of dating, it sets the tone of the relationship, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
B, it will let you know whether or not that person is a person you want to kind of continue on with.
Right.
Because
Right.
if I'm setting boundaries and you're not, you're crossing them or you're ignoring them, whatever it is.
Right.
We lost Tasha. She should be back
Okay.
shortly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that to me shows what our relationship may look like moving forward.
Right. Right.
So I say set the boundaries early, because the boundaries are what's going to protect you.
Yes.
And this way you would wean out what is not for you.
Yeah.
So somebody that's not respecting your boundaries, that's not somebody you want to be with long term. But the other thing that's crucial here is when we're in the dating phase, right? We're just gathering information.
Right. Right.
It's almost like when you go on a job interview, the me as the interviewer is just gathering information about the interviewees,
That's right.
because they are potential candidates for my job or
Right.
for the position.
Right.
When you're dating, you are interviewing people for a position in your life. And you have to, you boundaries help you be comfortable
Right.
with bringing that person into your life. And think about it, if you have kids, you want to make sure you're setting boundaries so that the person, when they do come into your life, they're not crossing boundaries because you have children.
right. That's right.
You got to look at the whole big picture.
Yeah. Of course.
But boundaries are very important in the beginning because it sets the tone. Any last thoughts on
And
that?
I
I just.
think,
No, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and I
You good.
think, well, oh, go ahead, Terry.
No, ladies first.
Oh, thank you. You're such a gentleman. So, and I think that she recognized that she people please. So,
Yeah.
a lesson in setting boundaries is going to be crucial for her,
Yeah.
because that may not be something that you can let go, because it's probably a learned behavior, or definitely something that has been internalized, that now is attached to, if I don't please people, they will leave, or if I don't please people, they
Right.
won't like me. So, for her, this writer, this author of the letter, it's going to be really important to begin slowly to set those boundaries,
Yeah.
because that will then offset your people pleasing.
Yeah.
And again, like Sabrina is talking about, you are gathering information. If someone can meet you where you're at, you're going to also recognize, wait, people will meet me where I'm at, and I don't have to people please, because people generally like me and want to be in my
That's
presence.
right.
You
Right.
want to try to show up as your authentic self,
Yeah.
so that the person you're showing up to is you that they like, and that they realize who they're getting, they continue to like. Because in people pleasing mode, you're really not showing up as your authentic self. You're showing up with a representative.
Yeah, and it's so funny, right? Because Terry gave us a good example one time about the lady who he took out, and she asked him to buy her a pocketbook. People will test you to see
they
if
will.
they can push your boundaries,
True, right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I wanted to add, just for the gentleman coming from the male perspective, um, sometimes there are some men, not a good man, but a lot of times when you state your preference for a date, they may think that you're being a little too pushy, and that's why it's important to have that conversation before there's even any talk of a date. I think the first date should be a phone conversation, maybe 20 to
Absolutely.
30 minutes.
Absolutely.
And that way you can get to know each other, because you don't have to go out with someone to get to know them.
Yeah.
Just having an intense conversation can sometimes do the trick. Maybe just a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, we have to understand it's a two-way street right here.
And you'd be surprised how you get some good data from just a phone conversation.
Yes.
And that's when you really need to pick up on the clues, right?
That's right.
You really have to pay
You
attention.
have to.
I'll never forget in my dating phase, I met this guy online.
Yeah, oh no.
And of course, so we take it offline, right? And we exchange phone numbers. But I have a Google phone because I don't want to give anybody my personal number.
Okay.
So I have his Google phone, and I would give the Google number out. And so he calls me, right? And I ignore the call because I was at work. And you don't call me without asking me, is it okay? But that's neither here nor
right.
there.
Yeah.
So finally, around lunchtime, he said, do you have a few minutes to talk? I was like, sure, but I have to make it quick. It's better if you call me at 6 o'clock when I'm home.
Exactly.
He said, okay. The conversation was really short. 6 o'clock, 6:05, he calls me. So we're on his phone, and we're talking. And he says to me, again, why we have to pay attention and know what we want when it comes to dating. You got to know yourself,
to know.
and you have to know what you want. So he says to me, so we're off the dating site, and now we're talking. I think that we can get off the dating sites because we found each other, and I'm thinking,
Oh.
wait a
Wait a
minute,
minute.
no. I said, but we don't even know each other.
I'm
You know,
still
we
exploring.
just. I don't think you should, or I should get off because we're still just getting to know each other.
Right.
We probably, there might be things we don't like and don't want to move forward. But
That's
he
right.
so he says to me, listen, Terry. He said, this really threw me for a loop.
Whoa.
So he said, so if I go out with another girl, you won't be upset? And I'm looking at
Wait
my
a
phone.
minute.
It's like,
I don't
is
know
this
you like
is
that.
this a prank call? It's Ashton. I said, excuse me, you can date who you want. We're not exclusive. We're just having a conversation.
Yes.
Oh, I can't believe. Red flag.
Yes.
I've
right.
said,
Yeah.
with all due respect, I'm going to have to end the call. And
And
I said,
it.
that's a red flag right there.
It is. And you have to pay attention to red flags. Ladies, don't be desperate.
Right.
As they say, don't be thirsty. Because men.
Well,
pick up on that.
another way to say it is we don't have to walk around collecting red flags. We
Right.
can let them stay where they're at.
Exactly, Tasha. We don't have to make our knapsack so heavy.
No,
And when they,
Yeah.
what Maya Angelou said it best, when people show you who they are, believe
Believe
them.
them, yes,
Do
yeah.
not
Yeah.
try to change somebody because you cannot. We can just take in the information.
That's right.
Is it conducive for us? Does it fit my life's dynamic?
That's right. That's
And
right.
if not, move on.
You're right.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
But so with that said, we're gonna move into why boundaries matter early in dating.
Yes.
And I said one of them. It sets the tone. It protects your well-being.
That's right.
They foster honest communication.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Yes.
They keep you grounded amid excitement and emotional swirl. So
Right.
Facebook family, YouTube family.
YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey May May,
Mm-hmm.
tell us some of the things you think should happen during the early phases of dating that would set some nice boundaries. What are some good boundaries we can set up in the early stages of dating to help us through this process?
I think you set up a good boundary when you were saying, I'm at work, I can't talk right now, but when I get home,
Yeah.
then we can have a good conversation. And I think that's a good boundary.
Yeah.
Because when you're at work, you're at work. When
Yeah.
you're at home, it's a different situation. And anyone who I deal with and you deal with, they have to respect that.
Yeah.
Because when I'm at work, I'm at work.
So Terry, let me ask you
Yeah,
something.
yeah, of
What
course.
do you think would have happened if I would have said, you know, this is not a good time to call me at work. Call me after 6 when I'm home, and the next day he would have called me at 12 o'clock, and I answered the phone. What do you think would have happened?
Well, he would have thought that the boundary you set was not really a real boundary.
Right, Tasha. And what do you
Yeah,
think the end results could have been if something like that happened?
I think ultimately the end result is you are one setting yourself up not to trust yourself because I'm sure you would have felt some sort of way after you got off the phone, and if you're not in tune to your own feelings, you would have been like, "Well, why I'm feeling some way?" Because the day before you set a boundary and now you crossed your own
Yep.
boundary. So that's number one. Number one is how you feeling towards yourself. So if you now going into this dating process with uncertainty and creating feelings that don't feel good, that is going to flow over into the relationship or the dating process. I think secondly, when people push and test the boundaries, you send a message that my word and opinion don't matter, and even if they don't pick it up consciously, you are sending an unconscious message of that.
Right.
And that could be very dangerous in a relationship. Now, most people who've been listening have known that Sean and I have been together for
A million and
33
2 years.
Sounds crazy, right? And married, yes, and married for what 20 with well, my son is 27, so 27, I guess. Lord, I'm forgetting the numbers. We've been married since 1990. Let's say that 20, from 1997. Yeah, got 28 years, right? Though 33 and 28. Yeah, we were together for 4 years before we got married. And so this is a funny story. I'll try to make it really quickly. So in my daughter was 2, so at that point we had been dating for 3 years because we had my daughter before we got married. We got married like the year later, 2 years later. Yeah, so she was 2. No, she was 97 because the first Christmas, as most of you guys know, my mom died after my mother died. So me and my sister had a 1 year old. My daughter was 3 at that point, and me and my sister and Sean and Kaylin, I hadn't had Chase yet, decided it was the first Christmas after my mother died. We were going to just spend a Christmas with us as her children and her grandchildren. Obviously it was quite emotional, but we still celebrated because that was her big birthday. So I know Sean saved all his money. Woo, Lord, he saved all his money, and he went out and bought me a Louis Vuitton pocketbook.
Oh, look
Now,
at
this
it,
is my
look at
first
it.
Louis Vuitton bag, right? Talking about boundaries, right? Now, we done been in a relationship, so we obviously had good boundaries already, right? But this is the first big ticket gift I ever got from him because we started in college. We were poor. Then we had a baby, buying Pampers and milk. So he must have saved up all his dollars. He was. I don't even think he was working for Verizon at the time. He hadn't become a police officer yet, right? Making a good money, but making decent money. We was living.
Right.
And he bought me a Louis Vuitton bag, and it was my first Louis Vuitton bag. And he didn't never tell me he wanted to surprise me because Sean loves surprises, right? And he didn't tell me he was buying it, obviously. And so in my mind, my first Louis Vuitton bag was a Pacific bag. Now, I think I showed it to him at one point. You have your little vision board or whatever you had back then. Well, I was all of 24 years old, thinking like I got to make money so I can buy me these nice things, right? That was my goal. It was really not about the bag, but the bag that he bought me, I did not like at all. I did not like. And I can tell you why I didn't like it. I'm very particular about the things I like, and I will spend a lot of money on things I like. If I don't like it, I don't care how much it costs. I'm not buying it.
Right.
And so I immediately opened up the gift, and my sister still does not forgive me for this. If she came on this podcast, she would still tell you she touched me from hell to down. I immediately opened the gift and I was like, oh, this is nice, but I don't like this. It is all right if we exchange this. And before he could say anything, my sister was wailing me out. You so ungrateful. This man went out and bought you a bag. I don't even have a man here giving me gifts. Everything was about her, and I was ungrateful. I thought I was setting a boundary. I was
Right.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like this. Is it okay if we exchange it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, they stayed on me all day. He got on the phone. Obviously, Louis Vuitton was closed on Christmas.
Okay.
So the next day, we went back and exchanged the bag. And the bag I want was actually a little bit cheaper. So I saved him some money,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Happy now, he happy.
Yeah.
And I tell that story because to most people it will sound like I'm ungrateful, but I'm very clear about what I want. And I knew I would spend the rest of my life with this man. So I was being honest and
Yeah.
transparent.
Yeah.
I was not being ungrateful. I probably told him, thank you. I love the idea that you went out. I actually told him, I said, I think this bag like is a little bit too young for me. You know, me and Sean have similar tastes, but sometimes very different.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
remember the
Yes.
bag. I'm like, oh, if I had a daughter, I would get my daughter this bag. But he liked little flashy stuff. It probably was a really cute bag, but it's not what I wanted.
Right.
Okay.
And from that moment on, it helped our relationship.
Of course.
He
Absolutely.
Yes.
now
Yeah.
pays a lot more attention. He still surprises me, but he listens to me and pay attention.
Right.
And now with my
That's the point.
daughter,
That's the point.
if he don't know, he go ask her. Or I remember years where he would bring his mother in, like, well, what's Tasha talking about? So I didn't take the element of surprise he wanted, but what I did get is I got a man early in a relationship that know, well, if I want to surprise and feel good, I may need to pay attention to
That's
what
right.
she wants
That's
because I
right.
want everybody to be happy.
Yes.
Right.
So
Yes.
I
Yes.
still love to tell that story. I
Yeah,
don't
and
feel
I think it's a good
shameful
Good
one.
about it
story.
at
Good
all.
Yeah.
story. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't think you
because
did
it really
anything
did make
wrong.
him
No.
pay
No. That was
attention
the
to
right
what
thing
I
to do.
need, my
Yeah.
needs.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that was
That's a good.
the right thing to do because now he knows what you like and what you don't like, and you could have
Yeah.
taken that bag and said, "Well, I'm not going to say anything to him." But I find with a lot of women, they might not say anything right there, but it builds up, it builds up, it
Right.
builds up,
Oh
and then
yeah.
there's something that has nothing to do with anything
I say it all the
about the
time.
bag, and like, you know,
Now there's resentment and you think you did something right. Or the other point would it be me given my personality, I probably would have put the bag in the closet and it sat there and never used it. So you still sending a nonverbal
Exactly,
message that
yeah.
could be what we call passive aggressive,
Yes,
right? Or
yes, exactly what it
microaggression.
is. Yeah.
I never said anything, but I would have never used it because I literally did not like the bag. It wasn't attractive to
Yeah.
me.
And he
So
would
I
ask
probably
about
wouldn't
it.
have
Yeah,
wore
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Right. And then that would have been a whole nother conversation.
course.
How do I come back after that? And then now I'm not building trust. So I thought it was like building trust
You
and
did the
just
right
being
thing.
honest.
Yeah, that was
That
good.
was
You
really
know,
good. Yeah.
listeners, tell me what you think.
Yeah,
You know,
listeners, what do
woman
you think
speed on
about that
YouTube.
story? I mean,
Yeah.
should she have just kept the bag and toughed it up, even though that wasn't the bag she wanted? Or did she do the right thing by expressing or communicating, I should say, what it is she truly wanted? I agree with
I
what
agree,
you
I
did.
agree.
And I think that's where we fall short a lot of times is how we communicate, being vulnerable enough to speak how we feel. But I think the other thing is, too, choosing the right words to say.
That's right.
Yes,
And
yeah,
one
that's
of the
important.
things, yeah, that's key,
That's
right?
key,
One
yeah,
of the
yeah.
things that's so critical is, I tell you, I think my daughter is one of the most intelligent people on the planet. The feelings, Will, Tasha, that you created. Her and I was having this conversation, and we was talking about something this morning, and she was like, "Mommy, but why?" And so when I
Why?
delve into the why, because and I'm really good at being introspective, right, at seeing what's going on with me.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I thought about somebody else coaching me, she was like, "But why?"
But why?
I came up with it was a word I came up with. She was like, "That's a good choice of words," and it made me think, Tasha, of your feelings, Will. Right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
really have to figure out how. Hey, woman, seed.
Yes.
We
Yes.
really have to figure out, ladies and gentlemen, how to say how we feel. And sometimes it's not even about your vocabulary being limited. It's just that sometimes in the moment you're not thinking, right?
Exactly,
And so
exactly.
what does that mean? Maybe you need a feelings wheel in front of you. That's not a bad thing.
No,
Or
no,
maybe you have
whatever
to
it
just
takes.
sometimes
Yeah.
sit with it for a minute and say, what does that make me feel like? Because as she was talking to me, it wasn't like it came right away.
Yeah,
I said, you know what, let me call you back. And I got off the phone and I just took a deep breath and I started writing down, oh, this is what it was. And so being able to articulate how you feel, knowing it, and then talking about it. So that communication, vulnerability is
It's
so
so important.
key
Yes.
in a relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. The woman C chimed in. She said it was good that she was honest with herself and him, and he respected her honesty. And I think
Yes.
that's a very good comment. And thank you for sharing because that sets the tone, as we were talking about, for the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
So,
That's really
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Terry,
Mm-hmm.
when you put up healthy boundaries early on in dating, it fosters honest communication and compatibility. That was what Tasha just talked about, right? Because she was honest, because she was able to articulate what she really wanted.
Yeah.
She said it kind of it made their relationship stronger. I think too it also builds connection.
Oh, no doubt about it. And the thing is, what I love about the scenario that you painted is the fact that you gave him an opportunity to get to know you better. See, when you're dating, you're getting to know the person, and people have to understand that 1 or 2 dates do not make a relationship.
Right.
You know, I think sometimes
that's the difference between that long term.
we
she's
push
in.
it. Yeah. I mean, what you have is rare and it's special and it's admirable, but that doesn't happen overnight. And sometimes,
no,
Some
not at
people-
all.
but
Yeah.
sometimes you can go on a date, and I've been on dates, and before dessert, I know I wasn't going to see this woman again.
Ooh,
And that was the one question I asked when on a date is, what are you reading? What
Oh,
are you
yeah,
reading?
everybody knows Terry's an avid reader.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So, and reading for me, especially if you read fiction, it shows me that you are a compassionate person, that you can relate to others. I think a lot of times what happens with men and women is that they don't really know each other. And that's why a lot of times, and people think I'm joking when I say this, I say that men should read romance novels because he can get insight to a woman that he wouldn't get but just talking to a woman. Because a lot of times, when a woman goes on a first date, she has high expectations. You know, she's fantasizing and how things are going to be. And if you don't, as a man, you have to understand that what she's going through is different what you're going through.
Oh, but Terry said some stuff that really made me want to pull the thread a little bit.
Pull the thread.
So Terry,
Yeah.
as you know, in September we're really going to delve into dating.
Yes.
But before we get that, Facebook family, YouTube family, we love you. I'm glad you are on with us tonight. Trisha, I don't see the Facebook family. Oh,
you
okay.
see
We're
it.
having some issues with Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, family, but we're still here. We're not going anywhere. So when you come back on, we'll be on.
We'll be here. Yeah.
But Terry, I
Yeah,
want to
please,
pull
yeah.
a thread a little bit
Pull
because
it,
we
please.
are really talking about dating.
Yes,
September is
yes,
going to be our dating
Okay,
month.
yes,
And
yes,
you
yes.
said,
Yes.
woo,
Yeah.
there's sometimes you've been on dates
Yes,
and you
yes,
knew
yes.
before dessert
Yes.
that you was not going to go any further with this person.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me, so was it just the reading or were there other signs?
Well, I think the reading, because I want a woman who's a thinking person, a thinking woman. I want a woman who appreciates the arts, because I like to go to plays. I like to read new books, fiction and nonfiction. I mean, this is my world, and if you're going to come into my world, I have to know that you're comfortable. I mean, one woman told me that she said I'm very boring,
Ooh.
and
During the date?
yes, during
To
the
your
day
face?
to my face, but I was about something else, so I ignore that to my detriment.
Wait.
Hold on.
Hard stop.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go there.
Yeah, please go there.
Why, if she said something that was a little bit demeaning or derogatory, why did you let it pass? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be very transparent. I mean, I wanted more than a date. I wanted sex. So, I got to be honest.
Okay, Facebook family, YouTube family, listen to what he's saying.
So
Okay.
I ignored what she said because I was looking at something else. Now that was in my immature days.
Oh.
But since I matured,
That wasn't last week? That wasn't your day you told me about last
that
week?
wasn't
No,
last
I'm
week.
playing.
But again, you have to, ladies, please understand something, okay? Men, you meet men at different stages.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have to understand what stage he's at, because he may be just a fun boy. Now I mean fun boy. You might be a fun boy, okay, and you might have something else in mind.
But when you say fun boy, are you really talking about the other F?
Yeah, I'm talking about the other F.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if the kids are watching.
Yeah,
so he may be a fun boy, but you may be a fun girl, and so that might be your connection.
But
if you look for
how
something-
can women, because they're going to be dating soon, how
yeah.
can they tell? Because you said the lady sitting across from you, you just wanted to be a fun boy with her,
Yes,
right?
yes.
How can women tell, because you're giving us the secret sauce now, that the gentleman across
Forgive
from
me,
her,
brothers, but
brothers, come on now.
Player's handbook,
This is some real stuff right here. We need this conversation.
Yeah.
So how does the girl sitting across from you, your daughter, what do you tell your daughter she should look for to know that this is a fun boy across from her?
Well, again, what kind of questions does he ask, and does he move towards intimacy right away, like saying suggestive things and making off-color jokes, or just not regarding your feelings? You know, I mean, he's not trying to engage you as a person.
You hear this, family?
He's like looking at your body and that kind of stuff. And
Right.
that's why you got to be very
to be
careful.
touchy-feely
Yeah,
or-
touchy-feely and that kind of thing, or just talk about things that really have nothing to do with you getting to know each other. And that's what I'm saying. The first date should be a telephone date.
Right.
That you talk about
Absolutely.
different things, because again, I mean, you're very brave to do online dating. I've never done online dating, but what I've done, I know if I look at my dating history, I've always dated people who I met either on the colleges that I taught at or in the work situation. I never did online dating because I figure if you're at the college, well, it's a certain mentality, as opposed to I met women at clubs, and then sometimes that's a disaster because they're presenting a different scenario. A quick story: I remember I met this one girl at a club some time ago, and she said, we had a good time. We had a good time together. And she said, "Look, I want you, to come and see me." And so I
She
said,
was a fun girl?
No.
Okay.
Just talking to get to know you. She said, "I want you to come and see me." I said, "Yeah, I'll come and see you." And so I go to see her, and I knock on the door, and the door opens, and this girl entered the door. I said, "Can I speak to so and so?" He said, "Boy, stop playing. I'm so and so." And I'm looking at her. First of all, she's a lot shorter than I thought that she was.
She took the leg off?
I'm gonna get you, sucker. That's an inside joke. She was shorter than I thought, and she didn't have any makeup on, and her skin was not the best and whatnot. And she
Wait, so you met her at the club?
I met her at the club.
And were you drunk?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, Sabrina. I'm like, Terry, how many drinks you had?
It was dark. It was dark.
Right.
It was dark.
He said it was dark.
And then I got to see her, and I came and I visited with her, because I'm a gentleman. So we visited, but as I looked at her, I'm like thinking that this ain't gonna work. But so what I say.
But I mean, okay, so how do we proceed from this point? Do we still go into the house and do what we need to do and leave, or do we just end it?
No. Listen, we go in the house.
Oh, Jesus.
We visit. We have a conversation.
He said he visit,
but again, because I'm a gentleman,
Terry.
I'm not gonna say like,
Terry.
Who are you?
Terry said, "What happens in this house with the ugly woman stays in this house."
I mean, she wasn't ugly, but she just wasn't what she had represented to me.
Right,
okay,
right.
She wasn't that.
Right.
And and sometimes men have to ask themselves, what do you want? What do you want?
That's important.
And I really believe that you deserve what you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, absolutely.
But
That's a
know what it
boundary.
is.
You have
And
to
I
know what
think
you have to know what it is. You have to know what
And
it
I
is.
think that before we start dating,
Yes,
we truly have to know who we are, what we want, what we stand for, what are our values, what are we looking for, what do we want. You know what I'm saying? Because this will eliminate a whole lot of when we go on first dates. Regardless of how we meet them, because people meet
In
people
different places.
everywhere.
Yeah,
When we go on the first date and we're sitting across from this person
Yes.
if I know unequivocally that I want somebody who is family oriented,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And they're sitting across, and again, we're interviewing, right? And I'm sitting across from this person, and they're saying, I don't get along with my brothers and sisters. I haven't talked to them in 3 years. We just have the worst relationship. I already
flag.
know
Yeah.
that that's not a person I'm going to go beyond this date with.
Yeah. What's your relationship with your mother? What's your relationship with your brother?
Right.
How do you feel about having children? I mean, these are questions that I don't think should be on the first date.
No.
These are
But
things
you're
to keep in mind.
listening
Yeah,
because
listen,
people
yeah.
talk. So if I know that the qualities that I'm looking for in a person to maybe potentially spend the rest of my life with,
Whoa,
whatever that looks like,
That's deep. Yeah, that's deep.
and and we're just having a basic conversation, like you said. What books are you reading?
Yeah,
And if somebody said, "Well, I read a comic book 16 years ago," you know that person might not do well with you.
Right.
I mean, do you stop there? Is that a deal breaker for you? And I think that's the other thing, knowing what is a priority for us, right? And what are our deal breakers? Like, if somebody smokes, is that a deal breaker?
Yeah.
Somebody's. I went on another date. I was a cereal dater, not cereal isn't eaten, but anyway. So I go on this date, and this guy, I don't know, he worked for one of the news. He was a newscaster for I don't know, Sports Illustrated, something. Anyway, so we go on this coffee date. I do coffee dates because I don't want to sit across anybody for longer than an hour that I don't really know.
Yeah, that's a boundary.
Right.
Yeah, that's a boundary.
That's my boundary. And so the guy says to me, do you mind if I smoke weed? And I'm looking like, now? This minute?
It might be
No,
break.
come on, throw up out there,
I'm like,
David.
right
What's
this
going
minute?
on?
You want to, I mean,
Can I light up? I mean,
so I kid you not, I didn't know how to answer that. I was so shocked by the question because I don't drink, I don't smoke. Even though I promise you, on my birthday, I'm gonna have the tallest drink. I'm gonna have a piece of a gummy.
but you're gonna sip it though.
No, I'm just playing. I don't drink. I don't ever want to drink or smoke. But it was so funny because I was so shocked at the question. I didn't respond right away. And so I said, I don't indulge. I would prefer somebody who doesn't. Who doesn't?
Okay.
And that was really the end of that conversation because the night went downhill from there, but that's a whole nother conversation. So knowing who you are and I don't knock anybody who does it. I mean, God bless you.
I don't either.
Don't mean, I just don't want to do it, But I am going to take a foot of a gummy because I'm going to try to, I'm going to bite a brownie.
You're going to nibble it.
She's talking crap. So the woman seed says the first thing anybody should know before they go on a date with anyone is what is the other person's intentions. People should share intentions.
Yes,
And that's where
yes.
Terry comes in.
Yeah.
We're talking about having a phone conversation or the shorter dates at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to respond a little bit because I like the ideal of when Terry said how he used to date. He never dated online, but he mostly met people on the college campuses and through work and through I'm assuming like other areas where you express your passions.
Yeah.
So
Dance
that
clubs,
one thing that gets out,
dance clubs.
right.
I like to dance.
But what a dance club too is people want to have fun, but it's something that when you think about having a variety of when you're dating or where you actually can meet people, I tell a lot of my clients, I obviously I've been in a relationship for a year, so I don't even know what online looks like. I would love to have a conversation about that.
Yeah.
But I do know about dating because I dated a lot before my husband. And I dated.
And Tasha, and for our dating season, we're going to talk about statistics of online dating. We're going to talk about
Okay,
some of that.
good.
Yeah,
But I dated a lot, and I dated a lot successfully. So we didn't have online dating, and we didn't have phones either. So you had to go out and meet people, and I don't think that we lost that art.
Yeah.
And I remember in dating that there was just certain places that I would go. Even if I was going out to have a fun time, when I went to the club, I knew that was not a place looking for a date because everybody is dancing, they're under the influence, and they're drinking. If someone was interested in me, they would have had to see me a second time around without the alcohol. I wasn't even looking for nobody at the club. I was going there to dance.
Exactly.
I usually met my guys in the library, at school, maybe at a museum. I would even take a chance on the train or walking down the street when you're coming home from work. Someone dressed in a suit.
Yeah.
So
you needed that visual before you actually had a conversation, Tasha.
Yeah, or just knowing that there's something that we may have in common already.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but I
So
think
important.
that
I
Yeah.
sets
think
up a boundary.
yeah,
Yes,
but I
yeah.
think COVID changed that a lot and moved a lot of people towards the online dating because obviously they had no other choice. And again,
Right.
we're not going to talk about it now, but we're going to talk about statistics when it comes to online
Okay,
dating.
yeah, yeah,
And
that'd
the
be
other
good.
thing
That'd
we
be
want to
good.
talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
is
yeah.
how do you set yourself up for online dating? Security, what should you
Oh,
wear?
yeah,
What
yeah,
how
that-
should
that-
the
that's
conversation
important.
go? We're going to talk about that. But Shantae said a boundary she had she said a guy told her he didn't go for annual physicals. That was a deal
Right.
breaker.
That's-
Rightfully
yeah,
so,
yeah,
because that
that's a
says you're
red
not
flag.
taking
You need
care
to
of
take care of
yourself.
yourself. Yeah, yeah.
Right. I like that a
Yeah.
lot. Yep.
Yeah,
Facebook family, I miss you. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you are watching, please share with your friends. Click subscribe and make sure you tune in. We won't be here next Sunday because we're going to take off for Labor Day. Um,
Oh, right.
but we will be here the following Sunday. So
Monday.
I'm sorry, Monday. I don't
Yeah,
know
so,
why I keep wanting
yeah,
to say
Sunday
Sunday.
show.
I said that. I said that last week too. I said Sunday. Yeah, Monday. So,
no show Monday.
but yeah, we won't be in next Monday, but we will be the following Monday, and we are going to get into cuffing season. And I'm going to tell you guys about a date I went on. Okay.
Okay.
So this is some good stuff. Yeah, so a lot of setting the boundaries earlier. You want to protect your well-being and self-respect,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You want to safeguard your emotions. You don't want to give somebody your all on the first date. You're not telling them about the 3 years of you want to take the conversation slow.
Yeah, I know one time I went on a date with a young lady who lived in New York City, and I met her. I was going to Rochester, New York, for a book signing, and I met her, and she was a bowling lead, and I thought we would sort of get together on that weekend, but we didn't. So she called, and I called, and we talked. And our first date was in New York City, and I went to Jersey to New York City, and we met, we met at the station, and we went to have something to eat. And then I thought, and this is, you shouldn't assume, I thought we would go back to her place. But she was very smart. She said, well, let's go to the park. And so we went to the park, and we walked, and we talked in the park, which was beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, first date's always public place. Never know where it's secluded.
That's the best. That's the best.
Yeah.
Because, as I think about it, I could have went over to the place and be captive.
Got to be.
Having fun.
He said I could have.
But
Terry, I
she
still
was
want to know
smart.
what happened with the lady who took the leg off. You gonna tell me that story, Terry? We gonna find out.
You're going to find out, right?
We are gonna find
Yeah.
out. Yeah. So protect your well-being and
You
self-respect,
have to.
Tasha. Talk to me. Boundaries early, during dating. How does that help protect your well-being and self-respect?
Well, boundaries are not just relationship tools. They are like emotional and mental life
Yes.
supports,
Yeah.
right? So when you get more comfortable setting them, the ripple effect will take place in all areas and aspect of your well-being. So they will give you more mental clarity, right? Maybe lower stress. You will then have a stronger self-esteem. So as you demonstrate your well-being and self-worth and self-esteem in the relationship, that will then earn you more respect. And I think, if people remember the example I gave, it builds trust. So when you
It
build
does.
trust, that also builds self-respect.
yeah.
Over
Yeah.
time, you'll start valuing yourself and relying less on validation, and that will exude in the relationship. So this goes both ways.
Yes, it
So
does.
if
It
both
does.
people
It
are
does.
feeling strong in the relationship, you have low stress levels, you have more mental clarity, that leaves room for the dating to actually be fun in another way, the real fun, right? Not just fun in that way, but fun, enjoyable, you look
Yeah.
forward to it. It gives you aspiration, desirability, and your needs are getting met.
Yeah.
And overall, you get greater self-awareness as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I
Yeah.
think those are ways that boundaries help demonstrate, self-respect and well-being
Right.
overall.
And
Yeah.
Terry, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna skip to page 3, right? Because
Okay.
page 3 gives us some good examples about healthy boundaries. Emotional boundaries
Yeah, this is great. Yeah.
in the early stage of dating. What are some of the things?
Okay, here we have I won't tolerate name calling or insults during disagreements. I need time to process process my feelings before continuing a hard conversation. I share
Hmm.
personal details at my own pace, not on demand.
Yeah, so that's a good point. If you're on a date, you're in a dating phase, and let's just suppose you say you love Beyonce.
Oh,
If anybody talks about Beyonce, I'm done.
it's a
Now
problem.
you've said that to your kids, so the kids know to bow down to Beyonce.
Yeah,
You
right.
done told your
Yeah, the beehive.
parents, so they bringing you Beyonce paraphernalia. You done told the guy you dating, I love Beyonce. Nobody better not say anything bad about Beyonce.
That's right.
Now you've been on a couple of dates, and he says, you know what? Beyonce stupid. She ain't that great anyway. What do you do? What do you do, Facebook family, Instagram family? What do you do? He's not bowing down to your Beyonce.
Ooh, ooh.
Hmm.
You say he's a jerk
Well,
when they walk out?
I think it's fair because everybody's not going to like everything, but
Right.
I think I would explore why he would use such a derogatory word towards a
Right.
woman,
Right.
because that's what I pick up on. You don't have to like her, you don't have to enjoy her music, but you also don't have to call a woman stupid. So
Right.
that would be a red flag for me, whether it was
Right.
Yes, yes,
Beyonce.
yes.
Because if he called Beyonce stupid, he may call his mama stupid. So
Exactly.
I'm looking at how you talking
That's right.
about women. You could there's so many other words you can use. I don't like her. I don't think she sings well. One
Right.
or even make a comparison to your favorite artist.
Yes,
Maybe
yes,
you
yes.
don't like that type of music, R&B
Right.
music or pop culture. Now she got country. Make another comparison, and I think that's okay because you
Yeah.
don't have to like the same
Everybody
music
doesn't
to
have
be
to
in a
like it.
healthy
That's right. That's
relationship.
But
right.
like
But that
Yeah.
that
the
statement,
way
if
he's
you know
doing it,
someone
Yes.
has
like,
joy,
Yes.
it's of like a really manipulative or passive aggressive, or even what they now they use gaslighting statement, right? Because
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
you're
yeah. Of
saying
course.
you don't like
Of course.
something and then you're demeaning it, knowing that the person who's sitting across from you have shared with you that that's something that brings them joy. So
Yes, absolutely. So, and I guess the key is that what is that conversation like? Why does he feel the need to be so derogatory about
yeah,
Beyonce?
yeah,
Is it
yeah.
because he's a jerk and that's a big red flag?
He's a jerk.
Hmm. Or
Or
he's testing a boundary around
testing the
language. What
boundary
type of language to use
you
with you? Because I
use,
think
or
that's what
even with
one
her,
of the
right? if
most important
i
things.
if i talk about her Beyonce and she's letting me get away with it, I'm gonna
Hmm.
push a little further, or what else can I get away with?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So that's an emotional boundary.
Yeah, that
What
is.
about time boundary?
That's a good one.
Ooh.
I can always text back immediately, but I'll respond when I'm available. I want to balance dating with work, family, and personal time. Last minute plans don't work for me. Please ask ahead.
So,
And that's fair.
Terry,
Yes.
I've texted you 3 times. You haven't texted me back yet. Why haven't you texted me back, Terry?
Well, I was busy, but I will text you back when I get time. Or maybe this is not a conversation I would have. Maybe I'm not interested.
Ooh. He said, wait. Terry said,
Oh,
I'm
so
gonna put
Terry
a disclaimer on it.
Ghoster.
Terry said, but wait a minute, I'm not saying that, but I'm going to say it.
No, because I think one of the sad things about the current dating scene, and
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of women, and they say a lot of men just ghost them. They just
Yeah.
stop. I mean, come on, be a man.
Yeah.
Well,
And they
but
just
Terry,
disappear.
let's be fair. Women ghost
Yeah,
men too.
that's right.
Right,
Women,
right.
yeah,
It
yeah.
goes
Right.
both ways.
Yeah,
It
both
definitely
ways.
go
Goes
both ways.
It does.
But still, whatever way it goes, it's rude.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's
It
rude.
is. I agree. I
think
totally agree. I totally agree. You,
So
you know, another thing we could talk about on the time boundary
Yes,
is how people, I don't know if I'm saying it the right way, but how people value time,
right.
yeah,
right? Because
that's
I
important. That's
hear
important.
that you set a date up and you say I'll be there at 8, and I'm if you tell me 8, I'm the person that's gonna be there at 7:59. That's just who I am. My
That's a
kids
good
laugh
point.
at
That's a
me,
good
right?
point.
I'm the first person that RSVP. If I'm coming to your party and I RSVP, I know I'm coming, so I don't need to have you hanging on, right? So my daughter laughs about that all the time.
But
But
that's important though.
if you say 8 and then the person shows up at 8:30 like nothing happened and
Oh,
don't send you a
yeah.
text to let you know they're running late, or
Yeah.
keep you posted
Oh,
on their time frame or things like that, I think that is something to think about because I hear that a lot and people
Yeah.
get real confused around that because they
Mm-hmm.
want to have the date, are interested in the person, and they want to give the benefit of the doubt
of
too,
course,
but
of
I
course.
do think it is something that should be discussed us because a lot of times people who are just late are probably always notoriously late, and that's
Yes.
something you got to know if you're
That's
going to be able to deal
deal
with or
with or
not.
not. Yep. Yep. So you really, that's why when it
That's
comes to
good.
that
Good
dating in the
point, yeah.
beginning, you really have to look at everything. You can't just look at, God, she got some great legs and that's all I see. I don't see anything else,
No, no,
right?
no, no.
Or for the girl, you can't just look and go, oh my God, he is fine, is all outdoors.
Yeah.
Don't be so tunnel vision, right? We gotta drill back and look at the
Yeah.
whole picture, the whole package, everything.
But that comes with maturity.
Yeah.
And I think again, we're going to talk about dating after 50, which is a whole nother story. Because when you're young, it's a different thing. Because sometimes people are dating just for entertainment. I go with John.
Yeah, but Terry, I think in that people could still have boundaries because
Yeah.
that's fun.
They can.
Right? So it's not
Yeah.
complex. And that again, like the woman seed said, if that's what your intentions is, you got to make sure the person you're dating is clear about that and that's their intentions. We talk
I
about,
like that.
I think we're getting when we get down to sexual boundaries, but I think just in general, talk about consent. There's a lot of consent that don't have to deal with sex either.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
Because if
Right.
you
Yeah.
just want to have fun, then and I'm not sure because you didn't really consent because you're trying to be slick about it or hold it back or that's your MO.
You mean like
Just
how
why don't you
Terry was at the restaurant when he said he just wanted to do it anyway? So
you know what, Terry? If you ask, the person may
that's what
not
I
thought
say,
that was going to
Tasha.
be possible, but maybe in that moment they said, "Well, if that's what he want, I need to have some fun too. Let's get it
Exactly.
on."
Don't be
It's
afraid
No.
consent
to
is very
surprise
No, I
them.
important.
know because women have said, you know what? Hey, look, let me know what you want, okay? And if I'm with it,
Yeah.
I'm with it. One woman told me, she said, look, we can do anything that you want to do. Just make it seem
God
like it's my
almighty,
idea.
Charlie Brown.
Like it's my
Right.
idea.
This is consent. That's what
are
I'm talking
just
about.
a-
Consent and
Tasha.
boundaries, right?
Yeah,
So
Tasha, Terry's something else. He got
I
women
see.
talking about
I see.
just. Let me tell you something.
Well, who was
But
the lady? I want to meet. I want to meet the lady who called you boring.
Right, we had to have a conversation with her. But you know what's so funny?
Yes.
You guys are right. Like, I don't understand why, especially in 2025, if people just want to be fun girls and fun boys,
Yeah.
but we really know what we're trying to say.
Yes,
we might
yeah.
have some kids on the line.
Yeah.
Why don't they just be upfront and honest? Now,
Yeah.
I might say no. That's just me.
Yeah.
But somebody that might be all that they want. God bless them. But be honest.
Be honest. Be honest.
You know?
Yeah.
If only for one
But
night.
but I think
Not me, but-
a lot of people, again, when we get into dating after 50 especially, a lot of people have problems dealing with sex. They have outdated expectations. They have shame.
What do you mean by that? I mean, break that down a little bit further.
I mean, again, when especially, I'm going to just speak in the African American community. A lot of us we didn't have the sex talk.
Right.
Our
That's
parents
true.
did not sit us down and talk to us. Okay.
That's true.
The boys found out about sex through pornography. Okay. The girls found it from sex talking to other girls and maybe thinking that if to keep a boy, I have to do this or to do that. We don't talk about it because it's shame filled. A lot of us were raised in the church, and so you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, and no sex before marriage and that kind of thing. And then we get a lot of mixed messages. So
Not only the mixed messages, right, but even as your body as a young person
yes,
starts to
please,
develop,
even that,
and you
yeah.
having these feelings come up
exactly.
and not know how to express it or talk about it, and then you get the first kiss or the first, you're like, oh, wait a
I'm
minute.
in love.
now.
I'm in love.
I'm
you know?
in, right.
Yeah. But even like later dating,
Yeah.
again, I know for myself, I mean, that first date, boy, that dopamine kick in, and you might think that you're in love. There's a new person, there's a nice atmosphere, it's a nice night. The dopamine kicks in. I'm in love, but the thing is that dopamine wears off.
Right.
Because
it's not
it's not real, but it's like, ooh, wow, she's beautiful.
The rush.
Right.
Well,
you
I
can
hope
get
that
other
we.
ways, right?
I know.
Yeah.
You can go jogging or
could,
you
yeah.
can do exercise.
Read a good book.
Laugh.
I think when we explore the dating next month, we probably definitely a topic should be what's lust versus love
Yes,
Ooh,
or
yeah.
like. You know, the
absolutely.
three L's, right?
Yep.
Love, lust, like, and love.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because you could really like somebody too and want to spend time with them, but you don't want to be in a romantic relationship. And I
Yeah.
Exactly.
find out a lot of that happens with online dating as well. Because clearly, the online dating platform, if you're up there and you say on your profile, I'm looking for romance, right?
Yes,
And you
yes.
kind of set that boundary, and the other person got the boundary of looking for romance. So you
Mm-hmm.
come in thinking, okay, well, so we cleared out, we going to try to do this romantic thing, but then it turns out that it probably is better as a friend thing. How do you then reverse and set a boundary around friendship to
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
that going?
Yes, yes.
Because you may really like the person and really enjoy their company, but don't want the romance. I hear that a lot, like walking it back too in the early stages of dating.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And because you really have to let the person know who you are, and also what you want. Because in the Christian community, you date because you want to marry this person. You're dating to get to know the
Yeah.
person you're married. Now that puts a lot of pressure on both parties.
But I think too, going back to the conversation, I mean, even before we get to the conversation, knowing me and knowing what I want.
Yes, yes, yes.
If I'm out in this big bad dating world, what am I out in this big bad, or I'm not gonna say bad, in this dating world? What am I out here for? What is it
Yes,
that I'm
yes.
trying to accomplish?
Exactly, exactly.
Am I trying to be a fun girl? Maybe, maybe not. Am I trying to be married? Maybe, maybe not. I need to know
need to
that
know. What's
before
your
I get
intentions?
out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just suppose it's the fun girl,
Okay, okay.
right? Now I'm dating and I'm on my first date and I'm talking to Joe Black and Joe Black is like, and I say, what are you hoping to accomplish through the dating? What are you looking for out of this dating? And he says, I want to be married within a year because I want to grow old with my partner and travel. And I'm the fun girl, and I'm thinking, okay, he's off my list.
All that, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because he may say, well, what are you looking for? And I could just be like, you know what, right now I'm not looking for anything long term.
Long term, whatnot,
I'm
yeah.
just getting to know, people.
Yeah.
I mean, even though that sounds a little shallow, but still, you have to have the conversation.
Well, you have to, and that's why
and you have to know what you want.
True, but two of my favorite shows on TV, YouTube is Pop the Balloon and Ready for Love.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
Okay, now those are two shows that if you don't, you should watch those shows just for research. What should I?
All right,
Just
so
for
telling our
research,
listeners
okay?
to watch them for
Just
for
watch them,
September.
because it really, but it's these people are younger than we are, but it makes me laugh, when I'm watching this, I'm saying like, wow, he's not gonna get a date, she don't want to date. It's like,
You can tell by what they're saying.
And are you ready for love? I mean, that's a whole scenario with
that used
different.
to be- I used to watch that all the
and it
time.
makes me laugh because again, that's how it is to
Yeah.
a certain extent.
Well, speaking of those dating shows, we have a dating show. We have a dating
Look out! Look
show.
out! Yes, yes.
Yes.
The Golden Connection dating show coming soon. Who will get the golden egg?
Yes.
Da-da-da-da. Coming soon. But yeah, so some good conversations. Digital boundaries, financial boundaries in dating. Would you give somebody money, lend somebody money in the early stages of dating?
No, I wouldn't, because again, that sets up I think a false expectation. Because if I'm helping you like that, when are you moving in?
Yeah.
Because it's too fast. See, a lot of people don't understand what dating is. I come to your house, I pick you up, we have dinner, we have a movie, we have theater, whatever. Then I bring you back home. That's a date. Okay, a dating is not we smash, you move in with me, I move in with you. That's not
Jesus,
dating.
That's insane.
But again, people move that fast, and really, we gotta understand, what are the boundaries of dating, and also it may be physical boundaries. I mean, maybe you don't want the guy to hug you on the first date,
Ooh.
and then he gotta respect it. And I asked a woman, can I hug you?
Terry and Tasha, we've talked so much, we literally have ran out of time.
Oh my goodness!
And we still have a lot more to talk about, but we can't do it today. But I promise you, when we come back, Not, let me get my dates together. Not next
September
Monday, because I
8th.
always want to say Sunday. So we won't be back September 1st, which is the Monday. We will be back on September 8th. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. We have
This dating thing, yeah.
we have a lot going on in September as it pertains to dating. We have our couples coming back, and then we have another couple coming with us, and we may do the dating show. Continue to send in your questions, your comments, your concerns.
please do.
Please. We are sorry about the technical difficulties tonight. We love you. You can watch the replay. And with that being said, I'm going to say, Terry, you want to say something before we go?
No, I just want to say we have a lot to talk about.
Yep. Tasha?
Yes, I would like to say something. I want people to stay tuned to our Facebook page and our Instagram pages if you're following us, because since we'll be off for a week, we'll probably give some updating on how to engage in a dating show.
Yep.
So, because we're looking for bachelorettes, right?
We are. So if you're
So,
interested,
so stay tuned. So even though we won't
got
be
some
live, there'll be
good,
information
cute
out there. We're
bachelors.
looking for bachelorette.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, bye, Facebook family, YouTube family. We love you. Until next time.
Bye.
We've been strong for so long. Now it's time to rise.